working the night shift at a haunted puppet theater. All right, so this is it. The Grand Majestic Puppet Theater. Grand is a strong word for what it is now. But yeah, this is my office. My 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning home for the next couple of weeks, anyway. I'm the new overnight watchman. The pay is great, and all I really have to do is make sure no one wanders in and walks off with a bunch of dusty marionettes. Easiest money I'll ever make, right? The guy who hired me, Mr. Abernathy, was odd. Skin like paper, and he smelled like cedar and mothballs. He handed me this huge, heavy brass key, leaned in super close, and whispered, "The rounds are simple. 1 patrol an hour. Just don't pay any mind to the puppets. They get restless." Restless. That's the word he used. I kind of laughed. Restless puppets. Sure. But standing here now, with the whole building groaning around me, you can feel it. This place has a weight to it. The first hour was exactly what I expected. Completely boring. I did my patrol, my flashlight cutting through the dark. The air in here is thick. You can almost taste the dust and decaying velvet. You can definitely smell the history. Faded posters on the walls for shows from 50 years ago. The Gallant Prince and the Whispering Woods. Jangles the Jester's Jolly Jamboree. The puppet faces on them are all peeling, and their painted eyes look way too wide in my flashlight beam. The main theater is the heart of the building. Just rows of empty velvet seats covered in dust, all staring at the stage. The curtain is this massive, heavy red thing that feels like it just sucks up all the sound. My footsteps feel way too loud in here. The silence isn't just quiet, it's heavy. Like the air itself is waiting for something. Backstage is a mess. It's a maze of ropes, sandbags, and half-finished sets. Wooden arms and painted eyes peek out from old crates. It's a total graveyard of forgotten shows. There's a workshop in the basement, but Abernathy told me to keep it locked. Said the tools were antiques. Fine by me. The less of this creepy place I have to explore, the better. So I'm settled in the little security office off the lobby. It's a glass box with a desk, a squeaky chair, and a bank of flickering black and white monitors. One for the lobby, one for the stage, one for backstage, and one for the long, dark hallway to the dressing rooms. Easy enough. Just sit here, drink bad coffee, and watch the clock. What's the worst that could happen? Someone tries to sneak in to get out of the cold? I can handle that. Restless puppets? Nah, I think Abernathy was just trying to spook the new guy. Okay, so it's a little after 1 in the morning, and my heart is hammering. I'm trying to tell myself it's nothing. Old buildings make noises. They settle. It's what they do. But this wasn't a settling noise. I was doing my rounds, walking down the main aisle. The only sound was my boots on the filthy floor. Then I heard it. From the stage. It was quiet, but I heard it. A single soft wooden tink, like a marionette's foot tapping the floorboards. Just once. I froze. I swept my flashlight across the velvet curtain. Nothing. Just shadows. "Hello?" I called out. My voice sounded so small and stupid in the huge, empty room. No answer. Of course not. I just stood there for a solid minute, just listening. Nothing but the sound of my own pulse in my ears. I finally made myself finish the patrol, telling myself it was a rat. Or the heat kicking on. It had to be. I get back to the office, my hands shaking a little as I pour another coffee. I sit down, try to focus on the monitors, try to get my heart rate to just chill out. And that's when I see it. On the monitor for the main stage. The camera's up high, looking down. The stage is empty, curtain drawn. But right in the middle of the shot, there's a single puppet. A little court jester. Jangles, I think, from the poster. He's sitting on a small wooden stool. And here's the thing. I know, I would bet my life on it, that puppet was not there an hour ago. The stage was empty. I walked right past it, I shined my light all over it. It was completely 100% empty. Now I'm just staring at the monitor, at this smiling gesture with its painted-on grin, and I feel this cold dread just seeping into my bones. Its head is tilted just a little, so it looks like it's staring right at the camera, right at me. It's just a doll, a creepy old doll. Someone must have moved it. Maybe Abernathy came back. Maybe there's another employee. There has to be a logical reason for this. There has to be. It's 3 in the morning, the witching hour, and I think taking this job was a huge mistake. For 2 hours, nothing. I almost had myself convinced I was just tired, that my mind was playing tricks on me. The jester puppet just sat there on its stool, not moving. I did my 2 aim patrol with my phone in my hand, ready to call somebody, anybody. But it was dead silent. I was actually starting to relax. I leaned back in my chair, even closed my eyes for a second, and that's when I heard it. Not from the theater. It was close. It sounded like it was right outside my door. A giggle, like a little kid. My eyes snapped open. I was wide awake, every muscle tensed up. I stared at the door, expecting to see someone. Nothing. I held my breath and just listened. The silence was back, but it felt even heavier now. I slowly turned my head back to the monitors. I swear to God, the jester puppet on the stage, its head was tilted the other way. I didn't even have time to really process that before the monitors all just died. Static. A loud, crackling hiss filled the office. I jumped up, hit the side of the console. No, come on. One by one, they blinked back on. The lobby, the dressing room hall, the backstage door. All empty, all normal. But the main stage monitor stayed black. Dead screen. Then, a single loud clang echoed from the theater. The sound of a metal latch. And then, with a low groan, the main stage lights flickered on, bathing the stage in this sick yellow glow. My heart just stopped. They were all there. Every single puppet from backstage. Dozens of them. Princes, witches, knights, animals just standing on the stage in a crowd. And they were all turned away from the empty seats, facing the back of the stage. All of them. Except one. Jangles, the jester. He was still on his stool, but now he was at the very front of the stage, right on the edge, and he was facing my way, facing the security office, facing me. His painted smile looked wider now, uglier. I can't explain this. This isn't a prank. Something is really happening in this theater, and I'm right in the middle of it. If you guys are into this kind of unexplainable, terrifying stuff, you need to subscribe, because I have a really bad feeling this night is far from over. I have to get out of here. I have to go. Now. After the lights came on, I just hid in the office. I don't know for how long, just staring at the monitor. My mind screaming. I finally got the nerve to grab my flashlight, my hands slick with sweat. Then the stage lights cut out just as suddenly as they'd come on, and the theater was black again. The stage monitor is still dead. I'm not doing the patrol. No way. All I can think about is getting out. The front door is right there in the lobby. I have the key. I just have to make it. I eased the office door open. The creak was like a gunshot. I could see the huge front doors. Freedom. I took one step out of the office. Tap. The sound came from the theater. To my left, tap, tap. It was the sound of small wooden feet walking across the stage. I didn't want to look. I had to. I slowly raised my flashlight, the beam shaking, and pointed it into the darkness of the theater. The light landed on him. Jangles. He was standing at the edge of the stage, 1 foot forward, like he'd just taken a step. And as my light hit him, he took another. A jerky, twitching movement. All wrong. He was walking. He was walking toward me. I couldn't scream. The sound was just stuck I stumbled back, fumbling for the key in my pocket. Behind the jester, in the shadows, I could see other shapes moving forward. Their glass eyes glinted in my light like a pack of animals. And a new sound started. A faint, tinny music. A music box playing some warped nursery rhyme. And it was coming from all around me. I turned and ran. I didn't care about being quiet. I bolted for the front doors, and behind me, the sound of dozens of tiny wooden feet clacking onto the main floor. It sounded like a swarm of giant insects skittering after me. The music got louder, faster. I jammed the key in the lock. It wouldn't turn. It was stuck. I twisted it, pulled it, my fingers clumsy with panic. A cold hand brushed the back of my neck. I screamed then. A raw, horrible sound. I threw my shoulder into the door, just as a small wooden hand clamped down hard on my arm. The sun's coming up. The first gray light is filtering through the grimy lobby windows, and everything is quiet. As soon as the light hit the floor, the music, the footsteps, it all just stopped. I'm huddled by the front door, my back pressed against it. I don't know how long I've been here. When I finally got the courage to look, the theater was empty. The puppets were gone. Not on the stage, not on the floor. Just gone, as if it was all a nightmare. But there's a bruise on my arm where the hand grabbed me, and the stage monitor is still black. It wasn't a dream. The key finally turned in the lock. I stumbled outside into the cool morning air and just gasped for breath. I didn't look back. I ran to my car, threw myself in, and locked the doors. I've just been sitting here since then, watching the sun rise, trying to process what the hell just happened, trying to forget those smiling, painted faces moving in the dark. I'm never going back in there. They can keep the money. I just put the car in drive, about to get out of here forever. My hand just bumped something on the passenger seat. I looked down. It's a puppet, a small one. Jangles the jester is sitting there, his head tilted, that wide, painted smile seeming to glint in the morning light. What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you at work? Let me know in the comments. And for God's sake, subscribe. You are not going to want to miss what happens next.